Hi kiddos, welcome back for our saint this week. Now because the last week of school always looks a little bit different, I'm actually going to do this week's saint and next week's saint this week. So we'll do this week's saint today and in a couple of days next week's saint, and then that will be it. You will have learned about all 35 doctors or great teachers of the Catholic Church. So this week's saint has a really cool name, I think. His name is Saint Alphonsus Liguori. He was from Italy, okay? Here is a picture of him. And I want you to look carefully at him. He's sitting down and you'll notice his head is sagging. And I'll talk about that in a moment, okay? So Saint Alphonsus was born in the 1600s, right at the end of the 1600s, to two really holy parents. In fact, they were both such devout Catholics that they didn't just give him one patron saint or two patron saints or even three patron saints, they gave him 9. Okay, so like my name when I was born was Michelle Ann, and that means my two patrons are St. Michael and St. Anne. Okay, and then when you're confirmed, you can pick another patron. So I have 3, Michael, Anne, and Therese. St. Alphonsus had 9. He had 9 patrons, so he had 9 saints that were looking out for him, okay? Now, he has 2 brothers that became priests, 2 sisters that became nuns. Their mom brought them to confession every week, so this was a family that was just striving to be holy. They were trying to live a really beautiful Catholic life. And Alphonsus grew up and he became a lawyer. And a lawyer is someone, remember, when a person gets in trouble or they say that someone else did something wrong, they go to trial, and the lawyer is the one who says they broke the law and this is why, okay? And Alphonsus was really good at this, and he never lost a trial, okay, until his very last one. And he was sitting down and there was something that he hadn't looked at before, and he had to be honest about it. And that lost him the case because he chose to be honest, okay? But he said while he was sitting there looking, he knew he had to be honest, and he went home and he didn't eat for 3 days because there was some deep stuff happening in his soul. And he said, I'm done being a lawyer. I need to focus on more important things. And he started a group called the Redemptorists, who are still around today, and they follow Christ through a lot of mortification and suffering. So they are not afraid to do hard things for God. And the Pope at the time said, anyone who follows St. Alphonsus, well, he wasn't a saint yet, who follows Father Alphonsus will become holy, okay? And they had a virtue for every month, just like we do at DMA. So 1 month they focus on faith or charity or hope or loving their neighbor or poverty, okay? He wrote great books. He was teaching people to be holy. And at the end of his life, he became really sick, and he was so sick he couldn't even hold his head up. So this is why you'll see in the picture his head is down, and actually his head pushed down on his chest so hard that he had this big open sore, this owie that hurt all the time, and he just suffered through it patiently. Okay, he didn't complain about it. He didn't say, bring me something to put there because it hurts. He just allowed his head to sit there and allowed it to hurt. Okay, and he still prayed. He gave spiritual correction, and he had to be pushed around in a wheelchair. So this man lived very humbly at the end of his life, okay? And they tell a story that when there was one brother who wanted to rush off to dinner and didn't want to finish his rosary because he was praying a rosary, but then it was dinner time. He's like, I'll just stop the rosary and run to dinner. St. Alphonsus said, brother, remember, one Hail Mary is worth more than all the dinners in the world. One good prayer is worth more than all the food. Okay, so this was a really holy man, and God gave him a really great gift. He died at noon, right as the Angelus bells were ringing. And remember, Angelus is that beautiful prayer we pray to Mary at lunch at DMA. St. Alphonsus loved Mama Mary, and God let him leave as he heard the bells getting ready to pray to Mama Mary. Okay, so we'll go ahead and draw St. Alphonsus. Here's how you write his name. Top is in print for kinders, bottom is in beautiful cursive for first grade. St. Alphonsus, look, we have that PH sound saying Liguori, okay? Now, I'm going to draw him in his wheelchair, okay? And that might not be super easy, but that's okay. I'm gonna draw his head as an oval, kind of leaning this way. Okay, so start with your oval. And then we're just gonna have one shoulder coming out like this, and the other shoulder coming out like this. Okay. And then he's got, let's see, kind of like a wavy line right there. Okay. Get the buttons going down here. Now, if you notice, he's got a pen in his hand, a quill pen, because he was writing a lot. He wrote really great books for us that we still read today about Mama Mary and about prayer. Okay, so we'll put a quill in his hand so that he can still be writing. Okay, so there is that hand with the quill in it. And the other one, it looks like, is just kind of resting. Okay. And then we can kind of just have his chair there. You can make it a wheelchair if you want. I think I'll just have him sitting in a normal chair. Okay, so there's the bottom part of him. We'll give him some feet. Then we'll go back and draw his face, okay? Well, he's got his face pointing down. Still really joyful, okay? He was a happy man all the way till the end because he knew that all of that suffering was bringing him closer to God. Remember, when we suffer, when things hurt, that's when we're closest to Jesus. Okay, he's got a little beard going on. All right, there's Saint Alphonsus. And then you can go ahead and color him in, and you are done with our saint for this week.